Just to share that in 2022, the contribution of our micro, small, and medium enterprises to our exports was only at 10.5%. We want to increase this percentage. By 2015, we have a target to increase the share, the contribution by MSMEs to 15%. By 2030, we want to increase to 30%. We have a global network of 49 trade offices all over the world. Malaysia is exporting to more than 200 markets. So that means we are everywhere. That's why export is very important for the country to contribute to the local economy and
Hello, listeners. Welcome to the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon podcast. So I was just talking to our guests. We talked to business leaders in Asia, and today we are at a very special place. We are at MATRADE here in the KL, and MATRADE is actually the Malaysia External Trade Development Corporation, and we have the Deputy CEO with us, Bakar Yusof. Bakar, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you for inviting.
A quick introduction of MATRADE. So MATRADE's mission, right? So MATRADE, I think most of us already know MATRADE's mission to promote Malaysia's export has enabled many local companies to carve new frontiers in global markets. So I was just talking to Bakar here today. He just came back from Singapore, and now he's going to China and maybe Vietnam as well. So today they continue to put the spotlight on capable Malaysian companies on the international stage. They're helping make the phrase "Made in Malaysia," right, synonymous with excellence, reliability, and trustworthiness. So welcome again, Bakar, and thanks for doing this.
Thank you so much also for inviting me, and also on behalf of MATRADE, because for MATRADE, we would like to reach out to as many enterprises as possible, especially to those who would like to establish their global footprints. And just to share that in 2022, the contribution of our micro, small, and medium enterprises to our exports was only at 10.5%. We want to increase this percentage. By 2015, we have a target to increase the share, the contribution by MSMEs to 15%. And by 2030, we want to increase to 30% contribution by MSMEs to export.
Okay.
So we have a lot of work to do. We have to work extra harder, and MATRADE, we believe that through support from our ministry, MITI, and as well as our government stakeholders and public sectors, as well as the industry stakeholders, I think we can do that. We can achieve that number.
Yes, let's do it. All right. So, speaking about Singapore, right? I have a photo here. You were with our MITI, our trade minister at ByteDance. This first photo. So, tell us about your trip to Singapore.
Basically, it was a very fruitful and successful, outing and engagement in Singapore, because it was for different reasons. One is during this visit, we had our we call it as annual ministerial dialogue, bilateral meeting between our Ministry of Investment, Trade and Industry, led by Datuk Sri Teguh Zafro, and also from his counterpart from Singapore. He is the Ministry of Trade and Industry, Singapore, who is also the Deputy Prime Minister, Gan. And we had our bilateral dialogue and engagement to discuss about the mutual, collaboration between the two countries. And on top of that, we have another program where also very significant milestone for MATRADE, because we reopened our MATRADE Singapore office.
Oh,
yeah, on the 14th of June, last Friday, where it was launched by our trade minister as well, Datuk Sri Teguh Zafro, and it was attended by MATRADE chairman, Yang Hormat Datuk Sri Rizal Marikan, and also our CEO, Datuk Muhammad Mustafa. So we reopened the office, and the launching was attended by many business leaders as well as government stakeholders from Malaysia as well as from Singapore. And prior to that launching, we had our visit to TikTok Singapore.
yes.
TikTok Singapore, where we had our soft launch of 8 August campaign. The actual event will happen on the 8th of August this year, where MATRADE and TikTok Singapore will collaborate to promote our Malaysian brands, Malaysian small and medium enterprises to leverage on TikTok Singapore platform to promote their products and their brands into Singapore market.
Oh,
Yeah, and the work actually started last year when we visited TikTok Singapore in November, led by myself, and we had rigorous discussion with TikTok Singapore on how we can collaborate and how we can benefit, our collaboration can benefit our Malaysia small and medium enterprises establish their footprints in Singapore market. During the opening of our Singapore office, we also had a simple ceremony exchange of memorandum of understanding with another important partner, Amazon Singapore. And with Amazon Singapore, our collaboration is basically looking into how to prepare our small and medium enterprises to be digitally ready, to embark on digital cross-border trade and also export. Yeah, so this is another important milestone for MATRADE, where together with Amazon Singapore, we will conduct a series of workshops to be attended by our local Malaysian enterprises, so that they understand about the journey of conducting digital trade and export via Amazon, so that one day they can become an exporter themselves. So through Amazon and through other cross-border e-commerce marketplaces.
Yeah, before we started the recording, I was just talking to Abu Bakar about the importance, especially of TikTok in the e-commerce scene in Malaysia. I know a lot of very small, medium businesses who earn a lot of money and thrive on the TikTok platform. Of course, it's owned by ByteDance in Singapore, and the photo just now showed, all of the senior leaders at ByteDance itself. So I think it's very, like you said, a lot of milestones, right? Opening of the office, visit to Amazon, visit to ByteDance, and also helping the SMEs to expand into Singapore, TikTok, and organizing the workshops as well. And I think most Malaysians are good to hear that, because our neighboring country has banned TikTok. So TikTok is something that we are trying to encourage our local SMEs to use, right?
Right. MATRADE, we are open to collaborate with any cross-border e-commerce marketplaces. In fact, previously we already had collaboration with other e-commerce marketplaces like Alibaba, eBay. We have with JD.com. So we are open, because MATRADE, we actually embarked on digitalization several years ago, where we had our two iconic programs to promote digital trade, cross-border e-commerce. One is E-Trade program. We started from Malaysia plan and continue now in this 12 Malaysia plan. E-Trade is a program where we also encourage more micro, small and medium enterprises to onboard selected e-commerce marketplaces like Alibaba, eBay, Amazon, and also JD.com to mention a few among them, is to allow our companies to understand the dynamics of cross-border e-commerce and to allow them to promote their brands and their products digitally. And we have seen the tremendous growth of e-commerce, cross-border e-commerce export when we experience COVID-19. Where prior to COVID-19, the growth of e-commerce is already quite significant, but then because of the crisis that we had because of COVID-19, then the growth accelerated. So I think many companies, especially the micro, small and medium enterprises in Malaysia, they have shifted and adopted cross-border e-commerce businesses as important alternative for them to sustain their global presence.
Hey everyone, producer Elton here. We share stories from business leaders in Asia, and if this video brought you any value, hit the subscribe button down below, like and share with your friends. Thank you.
Yeah, I experienced that also. The pandemic accelerated.
Yeah.
I also become digital at that time as an SME.
Okay. Yeah.
I remember I took a course to learn how to do online webinar, and I'm still doing online webinar today to get clients outside of Malaysia. Before that, it was all in-person training, but the pandemic gave us no choice as an SME, and of course you want to tap into the e-commerce market here in Southeast Asia, which I believe is one of the largest in the world. Like for our e-commerce, we are trading among and selling in the region as well. And just to bring up, I think this is a latest article also you have. The one about e-bling. You talk about e-trade, right?
Right.
So this one is MATRADE launches e-bling to help SMEs to promote digital trade. Is it the same thing as well?
Well, we mentioned earlier that there are two customized programs that cater for cross-border e-commerce. One is e-trade, where we have e-commerce marketplaces for our companies to onboard, the micro, small, and medium enterprises. Another customized program that we have is E-bling. E-bling, they incorporate both offline and online. So that means online platform, we are also collaborating with all these e-commerce marketplaces. We also promote our product and brand through digital marketing. For example, like live streaming, and also the KOL, key opinion leaders. So, and then at the same time, we also have physical store to promote our brands and also products. So we combine both elements under this E-bling program. And we work closely not only with international e-commerce marketplaces, but also the local e-commerce marketplaces. So we have both local and international marketplaces for us to work together to promote our brands and products through E-bling program. And I think the traction is good. And for this year, 2024, we have outlined a series of E-bling activities covering different regions, covering different countries. Some of them in Northeast Asia, some of them in ASEAN, Middle East, Africa, and of course is United States of America. So we diversify our footprints to cover both developed as well as developing markets. Yeah. So that is basically on cross-border e-commerce initiative. But for information, MATRADE is also embarking on other activities that cover both developmental and also promotion. And for this year, we have outlined more than 200 activities. Yeah, 200 activities where about 170 cover these developmental activities program, and about 40 cover promotion activities. So all in all, we have about 100, close to 170 program activities for MATRADE to implement this year. And I think you shared earlier that, of course, MATRADE, we are entrusted to facilitate and to assist our local companies, regardless whether they are micro, small, medium enterprises, mid-tier companies, even local large corporation, to establish or to expand their global footprints all over the world. And in terms of export, Malaysia is exporting to more than 200 markets. More than 200 markets. So that means we are everywhere. That's why export is very important for the country to contribute to the local economy and to contribute also to the creation, to the job, employment creation. And also export contribute to the impact, to the spillover, to the local supply chain. Because an exporter, they may not be able to export without the support from other local players that form part of the exporter supply chain. So that export actually benefit the domestic supply chain, all the local players that support the journey of our exporter. Yeah.
Yep. I think some of the activities that you say just now, you have a lot of activities planned out.
Yeah.
And these include, like this one is like trade mission, right? Trade mission, and also you also have trade events, right? Happening this year.
Yeah.
So what is MATRADE roles in, promoting this trade mission and trade events?
Yeah. I think one of the important strength of MATRADE is having the global network. We have so far 49 overseas trade offices all over the world. The recent one, of course, the reopening of our Singapore office. And through these 49 overseas trade offices, we provide customized services to our companies. And when it comes to export, I think it's very important for our overseas network to facilitate, to identify the right partners, the right buyers and importers for our Malaysian companies here. And also MATRADE, we provide important insight of the market peculiarities. We carry out market intelligence initiative. For example, like when our exporter, our company want to establish their global footprint, they want to export their product, they need to know what are the regulatory requirements of the host countries. They need to know what are the tax structure. They need to know about the rules and regulation to bring in their products into the market. So this is information is very critical for them to prepare themselves to export their product, and this is where our 49 overseas trade officers can help to furnish this relevant information to our companies so that they are ready before they embark on the exporting of their products to international market.
And this includes compliance to their certification,
Yes.
Various licenses, things like that, right? To enter a new market.
Because I just want to add, of course, for promotional activities, there are 4 main components. One is, of course, and you mentioned about participation in international trade fair overseas. And this year, we have planned to undertake 42 promotional activities, and one of the segment is international trade fair. And big trade fairs, for example, like the one that we had in Dubai, Gulf Food. This is a major and prominent exhibition to cater not only for Middle East and North Africa, but also to cater for the whole market. So all the potential buyers, importers, they will visit during this event. Okay, so for example, this year, about 80 Malaysian companies and 5 government agencies took part in Gulf Food, and they had a quite good deal. This event generated about 1.5 billion ringgit worth of export for Malaysian companies. So I think this is still a very effective platform for Malaysian companies to showcase and promote their products. But at the same time, we also organize other promotion events. For example, we organize Export Acceleration Mission, or in short, EAM. This activity is where we select a small number of companies to follow us in undertaking more on B2B kind of engagement in the host country. And this is where our trade office will help to organize business matching, B2B program for our companies, catering for specific sector or industry. So this is another promotion program by MATRADE. And the third one is also very important. We call it as international sourcing program. This is iconic program that relate to business matching, B2B. For example, we annually, every year, MATRADE organize the biggest halal trade show in the world, which is MIHAS, Malaysia International Halal Showcase. So during this exhibition, through our overseas network, we will bring a few hundred international buyers and importers to Malaysia during this exhibition to meet up with our Malaysian companies, so that they can have face-to-face kind of negotiation about the business deal. And this is where our companies can do the pitching to the international buyers and importers to export their products into the international respective market. So this year, MIHAS will be held from 17th to 20th of September. Just next door, our MyTech, our Convention Exhibition Center. And we are planning to bring in 250 buyers from all over the world physically. We have also at the same time virtual business meeting, and we target about another 200 buyers to participate in B2B virtually. But we are bringing at least 250 international buyers physically to MIHAS. And on top of that 250 buyers, we are bringing 20 premium buyers. Premium buyers are buyers with with heavy capacity, big capacity to source from Malaysia. So we have that kind of B2B arrangement during MIHAS with these buyers and Malaysian companies. So this is only one example of our international sourcing program. The the fourth component is the trade and investment mission. This is where normally our Minister of Investment and Trade and Industry, Muti, he will lead the delegation to any targeted market, and then we will have our business program, and also this where we will entice these major buyers or importers to source from Malaysia. Yeah, so that is basically on the promotional programs of MATRADE. But we have many other, almost 170 developmental activities and capacity building programs. This is where we educate, we train our exporters to be ready for export market or international market. And if they already exporting, how we can further scale up their exports or diversify their export to many other countries.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. That's a lot of initiatives, a lot of activities. Hope I can visit MIAS as well.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we are welcome and we will invite you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I think a lot of good news there. Like a lot of export opportunities. Like a lot of good numbers. We're exporting in these different markets, Malaysian SMEs as well. But what do you see are the biggest? So a lot of my audience are on LinkedIn, and that's how we connected.
All right.
So like, what do you see are the biggest challenges like Malaysian SMEs have when it comes to expanding globally?
I think some of the challenges are related to their own awareness about how to export, and also the skill sets to export, whether physically or traditional way or through e-commerce online platform. This is where we work closely with other stakeholders who are the subject matter expert to develop or design a capacity building program to educate our micro, small and medium enterprises on how to embark on export business. And actually we have we call it as a export journey map. And I think it's important for our micro, small and medium enterprises to go through the journey step by step to reaching along the journey every milestone for them to really be ready or have confidence to embark on export business. And this is where I mentioned about almost 170 development activities or capacity building programs, because we have to reach out to our companies and guide them on how to do export business. And we cannot do that alone. That's the reason why we have our stakeholders, ecosystem partners to work together with us to educate the companies. And we one of the important along the export journey, one of the important tool that we use to measure their readiness is through our own digital tool. We call it as export readiness assessment tool, where the companies who onboard our membership platform, they need to go through this assessment tool to measure their readiness. Of course, we have a set of questions for them to answer. Then from the outcome of the questionnaire or this feedback, then we will get to know actually the level of their readiness, whether they are beginner, intermediate or advanced. So for the beginner, we will identify what are the gaps along their readiness. So we will guide them, identify what are the relevant or suitable training that they need to go through, so that they can strengthen their capacity, they strengthen their readiness and also their skill set. So until they are comfortable with that, then we have a few other steps for them to go through, and then after that we will bring them to participate in international trade fair. Because we make our program based on our own experiences, the previous experiences in terms of our company's participation in many of our promotion program. Some of them, they have good product, but they have challenges in terms of how to scale up the capacity. So when they participate in any international trade event, then they receive good inquiries, good feedback from the buyers or the importers, but they cannot cope up with the supply because they have capacity issue. So I think it's very important for MATRADE when we work together with our ecosystem partners. We have that kind of plan to support the companies when they need to scale up. We don't wait until the problem or the issue arises, then only we look into the solution. We have to have good ecosystem so that anytime the company need any backup or any support from other agency, maybe not MATRADE, but other agency that can provide, for example, financing, then they have the institutions or agencies that are ready to do that. This the reason why we embarked on a few years ago in 2021, we launched our 5-year national trade blueprint, where this blueprint addresses various gaps along the trade and export ecosystem, including financing. So we have 8 working groups that cater for different segments of the ecosystem. For example, on financing, on branding, on digitalization, innovation. So these segments are very important for our exporters and our trade to thrive. So that we can really expand our global footprints.
Yeah, that's very practical, and I like all those initiatives. You have a blueprint, you have a roadmap, so many things. So a couple of weeks ago, we had a guest actually from South Korea. And one of the things we always discuss as Malaysians, and a lot of brand leaders actually listen to the podcast, we are business podcast. So one of the things that we say in Malaysia is we don't have so many global brands. Like South Korea, we have LG or Samsung, whatever it is. Like, what is your advice to brand owners here in Malaysia? How can they work with MATRADE?
Well, again, I would like to amplify and reinforce the fact that we have, the global network of 49 trade offices all over the world. This is a platform is very crucial for our companies to leverage, to promote and enhance their branding initiative globally. Of course, our headquarter, we are actually divided by sectoral desk. So, for example, for halal, we have a dedicated department that looking into halal industry. Then they can engage with our halal department to look into how they can facilitate the companies to go global or to enhance their branding initiative. So our department in headquarters will work together with our overseas network. So this is the proper process that we have that can help the companies, because they can go directly to our overseas network. No issue about it, but I think it's good to coordinate that from our head office, because we have respective departments that looking into specific industry or specific sector. So I think branding is very important, because of course we do have good brands that are known globally. So but then I'm looking at how we can further enhance the branding of our micro, small and medium enterprises. Because they need support from MATRADE and other government agency, so we can help them to realize their plan through coordination between head office as well as our 49 overseas trade offices.
Okay, so there you have it for the local brand leaders. There are a lot of brand owners I've spoken to in the podcast as well. A lot of from merchandise to restaurant to whatever it is, products as well. So I think hope they can export overseas as well. So like another one, I think we have covered a lot today. This one is an interesting topic. So we have this news article here about the geopolitical challenge from your CEO himself. And Dato' Muhammad Mustafa Abdul Aziz, he said, we help to address this and this year we have a lot of geopolitical challenges. So how are we navigating that so far?
Well, I mean, no doubt that the challenges are always there for, local businesses to establish their global footprint or to expand their global footprint. So there are many things happening, and
Mm.
many the hurdles and challenges that can hinder our companies to sustain or to continue their efforts to expand their businesses globally. But I think this is where for MATRADE we engage with our companies in terms of looking into their specific issues, specific challenges. Then we also plan together with our overseas network to rectify the issues and the challenges. Because some of the challenges are basically due to probably trade tensions.
Of course.
Yeah, between the two superpowers.
Yeah.
Some of them are due to the geographical, the demographic challenges. The frictions between countries, all that, and also because of the recent, still ongoing challenges with regard to logistic costs, shipment costs. Yeah, so for MATRADE, we are looking into that together with our ministry, MITI, and see how best we can give option or alternative for our companies to minimize the impact of the disruptions due to all these kind of factors. Yeah, so for example, if the company they have been exporting to one market, that market has some issues, whether it's politically, whether it's economically, then we will advise the company to look into alternative to diversify their market by not relying only on one or two market, but they need to diversify into other market that have potential for their products. And this is where the role of our overseas network to advise us on what are the opportunities for that particular products. Then I think the company can start looking into diversifying their market into other region or other countries. So, but because some of the companies they are very comfortable into exporting into one or two market. Maybe it's 80% of the export actually coming from one particular market. But when this market poses some problem, then they also get stuck. Yeah. So I think this is where we would like to advise companies to look into alternative other markets that have good potential for their products, so that we can help them to also not to divert but diversify their share,
and reduce
export.
the risk.
They reduce the risk and diversify their share of export to other markets as well.
Yeah, I think a lot of sharing today. I think that's so important. There's a lot of tensions, like you said. Like, okay, so I think before we end this, maybe to make it more relatable to like our producer Elton, like that, like, can you share maybe a story or a local product or brand that has worked with MATRADE and then they expand or export more overseas?
Well, we have good stories because MATRADE was established in 1993. And I joined MATRADE
back then.
Yeah, back then.
Wow,
more than 30 years. So I have seen some of the companies. They have grown from just a small company to now one of the biggest suppliers in the world. I would like to quote, for example, Top Glove.
Okay. Yeah, everyone knows Top Glove.
Yeah, everyone knows Top Glove. They are the biggest in the world now. But they started also as a small company, and they engaged with MATRADE, and MATRADE also reached out to them and facilitated their business, globally. And finally, they, of course, through their own initiative and their own hard work, they managed to grow with the assistance from MATRADE in HQ as well as global network. Recently, when I was in Singapore, we have one company because Top Glove is about product, right? But we have both component of goods, products as well as services. And the one that in Singapore is one company that also participated in one of our customized programs. We call it as mid-tier companies development program, DCDP. This company is a consulting firm company, the biggest local consulting firm in Malaysia, called YYC Group.
Yes, I know them.
Yeah, so YYC Group, they were part of our mid-tier program, and they, through our program, we facilitated their establishment of their footprint in Singapore. And YYC Group has now they have office in Singapore, and they already have more than 400 clients in Singapore. And in Malaysia, they have more than 20,000 clients.
Okay.
So they are the biggest
Yep.
local. They are among the top 10 among the consulting firms in Malaysia. Beside the big four.
Yeah.
So I think we can see the fruition of our effort to facilitate our companies to go global.
All right. Thanks for sharing that. I hope
Yeah.
one day I can expand overseas. YYC also.
Sure.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Abu Bakar, for sharing this. We connected on LinkedIn, and then now you are here to share more. And we hope can work with you more in the future as well. Thank you so much for sharing today.